Hello and welcome. Janet Beckers here from Wonderful Web TV, and this week I would like to talk to you about life balance, because you know what? It's a load of rot. It doesn't exist. Tell you why. You know, we've got this concept that life should always be in balance, you know, that work should only take up a certain amount of your time, and then you've got your family, you've got your romance, you've got your health, you've got your social life. All of these things on a day-to-day basis should really just be in balance, and that is the ideal life. You know, setting that ideal is just going to always make you feel as if you're doing it wrong. So let me give you another take on what life balance is. Now, I'm really passionate about life balance. Might sound strange after having what you just heard me say. You know, it's really important to me that I spend time with my children and have fun, that I have romantic weekends with Douglas, and that I do things like I'm a surf life saver, and I have my singing lessons, and I go to Spanish classes or coffee groups, and you know, all of these things that are a rich and varied life. But I never try to fool myself that I'm got it all in balance all the time. I think a much better way of it is to look at, not even at a weekly level, but to try to look, say, over a month and say, okay, you know, I've got a big project coming up, for example. You know, just say that you're going to be launching a new program, or you're starting a new business, or you're going to get that blog made for the first time. You know, in order to do that, you're going to have to focus. And so this is what I do. If I know that I've got a big project coming up, I just know, you know, I'm going to have to do some extra hours on this. You know, I might have to do some work on the weekend. I might be working, you know, at night time when, you know, everybody else is watching telly or something. That's okay, because I know that it's going to end. So this is the important part. It's okay for you to be out of balance, working really hard towards something, as long as you let the people who are around you say, look, this is what's happening. I've got this thing coming up. I'm working on it. It is going to end at this particular date. You need to know that for yourself as well. And then it's okay. And you can say, when that happens, then I'm going to kind of go the other way for a while. Now, I'm not saying that while you're working on that project that everything else gets forgotten. You'll go mad. But don't beat up on yourself that you're working really long hours or hard or focusing on that one particular thing. As long as when you look out over the month or whatever the time period is, that you can say, well, actually, sure, I worked really hard, but then the family and I, we went away for 3 or 4 days together. Or I turned off that computer and did not do a thing, and I just went and hung out at the beach. Or whatever it is that you've done, make sure that you get that balance, that reward at the end, otherwise you're going to burn out. But don't beat up on yourself because you're not doing everything perfectly balanced on a day-to-day basis. I'd love to know what you think here. It took me a while to work this one out, that it was okay for me to have balance in blocks rather than it always being perfect. I'd love to know what you think. Do you do something similar? Have you been watching what I've been saying here and say, Janet, that is rot? Love to hear if you think that too. So please just leave your comments down below. Any questions you've got. As well, any advice and tips that you can share, because I know people watching this video and reading the comments but not making them themselves are really going to learn from any tips that you've got to share as well. So, I'll see you there and I'll join the conversation. Bye.